What is up, Margaret Garner, number 19 on Liberty Soccer? So excited to have you on the show today.
Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Yeah, well, it's been just fun to follow you from a distance on social media, but I'm excited to get to know you a little bit better about your story, soccer, and just your faith. But first, the question that I ask all the guests on the What's Up podcast is what are you all about right now? It could be something super big that you're excited about, something kind of silly and small, like a new snack or a song. What are you all about right now?
Um, that's a great question. I would say I'm all about right now my summer opportunity in Orlando. It's been a long process to get here. A lot of prayers gone into it, a lot of steps of faith and obedience. And so I'm just super expectant and excited and just all about what God is gonna do this summer. I leave tomorrow. So yeah, just super expectant and excited for that.
Yeah, so describe a little bit about the program that you're going to because we're recording this during the off season, basically right before you go into preseason for your season, which I know for me, the couple months leading up to my preseason was always like, I have to be in the same place, I need to be training. Like there was a lot of stress on exactly what I did when I took my vacation, what I was doing. So can you just describe a little bit of the program that you're going to?
Yes. So, the Orlando Eagles, they work with an international sports mission program, and pretty much the Eagles have locations across the entire country. This is the first year Orlando is going to do a women's program, and it's an 8-week program where we are living with the team, you're training, you're playing games, you're lifting, all of those things. But we're also running soccer camps, and just using soccer as a force to share the gospel with kids and families and really just have an impact in the community. It's definitely going to be a super intense and a lot of times I feel like the summers, especially for college athletes, is all about like training and conditioning and lifting. And I really felt super convicted when I was kind of praying about my summer and like, Lord, where do you have me? I had two things kind of come to mind, which was service and get out of your comfort zone. And I feel like it's really easy to get selfish in the summer of like, it's all about me and I need to train and I need to put myself in the best possible position. And so when this opportunity kind of arose, it was like the Lord telling me like, hey, you can still train and focus on soccer and get better at soccer, but you can also have such an impact with this game. And it doesn't have to just be all about you and all about your season. Like there's such a bigger outreach that you can use this sport for.
That is so cool. Thank you for sharing that. And I love how you just described about like praying about it first, right? Because that's how you're going to get your mind set on the right things. And that's a stressful topic and something to really hold when you play college athletics at a high level as you know how serious that is. But it's so cool that you were given this opportunity. How did you hear about it at first?
Yes, so last summer I played for the Charlotte Eagles. They're a branch of the Orlando Eagles, and it was just a soccer program. I loved the Eagles. I had a great experience, and I went to tryouts in December. I was just planning on playing for the Charlotte Eagles again. It was super comfortable. I knew the coach, I knew the team. And at tryouts, one of the program directors from Orlando just kind of spoke to the team, and he was like, we're starting this program. This is our first time. We don't know like exactly how it's going to run, but this is kind of the basis of it. If this is like on anyone's hearts or this sparks anything, like just talk to me, just reach out. You have my number. So I finished tryouts and I had that little like, that little nudge you get kind of from the Holy Spirit. And I was like, ooh,
Yeah, you're like, ah,
Orlando, like
did I
I
feel that? Like, did I really feel that?
right. I was like, God, Orlando, like all my friends are in Charlotte. Like Charlotte is comfortable. Like, I don't know if I want to go live in Orlando for a summer, but I was like, you know what? This nudge is like not going away. So I just reached out to him. We got on a phone call, shared my testimony on the phone. He kind of talked about the program and I hung up the phone and it was like a piece was like, this is what you need to do. And I was like, oh Lord, I don't know. But taking that step of obedience as soon as I committed to the program, things just started falling in place, fundraising for the summer. And yeah, I just think the Lord really was gonna bless that obedience, so I'm super excited for the opportunity.
I'm so excited to follow along with that and hear about how it goes and just see what comes of it and what just an awesome story of obedience too. And I think this is just going to be such a great opportunity and encouragement for other young athletes and even college athletes who might also be feeling that nudge, but might not have the strength really and boldness to like step out in it because it's hard, especially if you just look at it from a really surface level point of view. My friends aren't there, right? Like,
Right.
it's crazy how much that deters people from doing certain things. But I want to talk about your other soccer team, your Liberty soccer team, because you're headed into your junior season there. What did your recruiting process to Liberty look like?
Yeah, so obviously my sister plays at Liberty. She's 2 years older. What's super funny is I always said, "Oh, I'm not gonna go to the same college as my sister." We were super close, but I was like, "I'm gonna do my own thing." I never would go to Liberty. So when I started recruiting, like, Liberty wasn't even an option. And I actually didn't decide to play college soccer until probably my late freshman year of high school. I went through a really rough period with soccer where I almost quit, and the Lord just restored my love for it. And so I kind of went into recruiting just super like open and like, you know what? I don't really have super big idea of where I want to go. I don't even know if I want to play, but I'm just going to kind of go into this process. And so I was just looking around. I was really convinced I was going to go to a beach school. I looked at tons of schools at the beach. Nothing really was falling into place exactly, and then the Liberty coaches just reached out to me, they had seen one of my highlight videos, invited me to come to the camps, and yeah, from there, they saw some games, and just started praying about it, and the Lord was like, "Again, this is where you need to be," and I was like, "Are you sure, Liberty?" And it's so cool that, like, a place that I thought I would never end up at has been the biggest blessing, and it's so evident that that's where I was supposed to be.
It's wild how that happens, and that is so funny that you said, maybe the beach school because that is how our minds think, right? When we're at that age of our life looking at colleges. When you said that you had kind of fallen out of the sport of soccer, would you mind just taking me back to that time in your life and what it did really look like for the Lord to bring you back to the sport that you're playing now? Because I know you were a track star and a star on the course. So, what did that look like to get back into soccer?
Yeah, so growing up, I was never the best player on my team. I was kind of like always the underdog on the team. I was always like fighting for my spot. And naturally, the Lord blessed me with like athleticism, all of that was there. But soccer wise, like the
Clearly, your
technical
highlight reel was
ability,
good enough. Like, clearly it was something, all right? It
something.
brought you it got their attention. It worked.
Who knows? Who knows? But I always just struggled with the technical side of soccer. I loved to run. I was super physical. But that part just never clicked. And so I think growing up, it was really hard for me, just always kind of like feeling like I wasn't as good as the other girls. And I had to work like 10 times harder to be at the same level. And so it was around eighth grade. I just kind of told my mom, like, I think I'm done with soccer. Like, I don't want to play in college. Like, why am I spending all this time? Like, club soccer is pretty intense. You have practice 4 or 5 days a week. You're traveling every weekend. And this was right when COVID had happened. There was a brand new club getting started in the area. It was an all girls club. It was their first year ever. My mom's like, "Why don't you just go to the tryouts? We know the coach who's starting the club. He's really great." And I was like, "Okay, I'll go to the tryouts." But like, I think I'm done. So I ended up going to the tryouts, and I absolutely loved this coach, just the way he ran tryouts. And so my mom's like, "Why don't you just try 1 season? 1 more season. If you hate it, then you can be done." So I was like, "All right, I'll do a season." And I think what was so great about this club was that it was a brand new group of girls. So no team had been established before. Every single girl was kind of coming from different clubs. And so it being like the first year of the club was, I think, just really great for me as a player. No cliques were in place. It was just, this is a fresh start for everyone. So I ended up playing my freshman year with that club and absolutely just fell back in love with soccer. That coach completely restored my love for the game. It was a super, like, high level and intense experience, but it just brought back my love for it, and so I decided, "You know what? I think I wanna keep up with this." So I played for that club all 4 years of high school, and it opened the doors to be able to play in college.
That is amazing, and, like, shout out to your mom, right, for giving you the
Yes,
nudge. I think
I
that's
know.
huge, and also just, like, the freshness is real, like, and I think going for something that's new and needing a change and being on a different team, like that can really make a difference. And so whether it's like a club team that you're changing, whether you're an adult and you're kind of in the real world or whatever you want to call it, and you're like, I gotta move, like sometimes that is good because walking to the unknown can give you a new perspective on different things. But that transition, right? You go into your eighth grade year thinking, I'm not playing college soccer, and then or freshman year, and then now here you are at Liberty a couple years later. What was that transition like from high school to college? Maybe having that background of like, hey, I wasn't all in, throughout my entire high school seasons.
Yeah, I would say my freshman year transition was pretty difficult. My senior year of high school, I had reconstructive ankle surgery. Towards the end, just dealing with a bunch of ankle sprains. You know how that goes. And so coming into college, I was recovering from surgery and pretty much relearning how to like shoot a ball and dribble and run. So mentally, that's already a little bit scary. And then obviously the jump from high school to college, the physicality, just everything's on a different level. So my freshman year at the beginning, I definitely struggled a lot. I hadn't played a game in 8 months when I went into my first college game as a
Oh
freshman.
my goodness.
So I think like the transition plus the injury, it was definitely a struggle and a learning curve. But that year provided so much growth for me, not only as a soccer player, but just my faith, grew so much because I had no choice but to just be dependent on the Lord. Because I was like, "Lord, I'm struggling. I feel like I don't know how to play soccer. I'm in a new environment with a new coach, new teammates. I'm living away from my family. Like, you're my constant." So, it was such a great year of growth and also just, like, teaching me perseverance. I remember there were days when I felt so behind technically because of the injury, so I would get up super early and go down to the field before class, and I would just get my ball and kick it against the wall just to get touches in, and, yeah, just lots of perseverance, and I'm super thankful, though, that I had that tribulation because I feel like it really taught me my sophomore year just not to take anything for granted, whether I'm on the field or off the field, like, the fact that you can even play is such a blessing.
It's really difficult to go through any type of injury or adversity, but it's so cool that you have the perspective now. Like for that to happen so early in your college career, for you to say, in my sophomore year, I was like, I had the right perspective. Like that's so awesome because college is so hard and it's 4 years. Like it's a long time. And for you to, go through that is difficult in the moment. But for that to be like at the front end of your college experience is so awesome. And I love what you said about like waking up early and going to the field and like just kicking the ball against the wall because yes, it is perseverance and it is like, God, I need you, like trust in the Lord. But it's also like, well, go like work yourself,
Yeah.
like we'll go like build the efficacy and the practice and like the reps so that you can feel confident in the ability that I've given you. And so I love that you said that.
Right, it's not just gonna happen by, like, "Alright, Lord, like, make me better at soccer." It's like, yeah, like, he's gonna help you along the way, but you gotta put in the extra work and do all of the things you need to do.
You mentioned it earlier, but you are on the same team as your sister, Sally, which is crazy cool. I got to play on a college team with my sister, and it was just like the best experience ever because, you can connect with your teammates like best friends level for life. But there's just something different when you have a sister on the team and you can kind of give her the eyes and she knows exactly what's going on. So, what has that been like for you, especially in the awesome moments, but also in the harder moments?
Yeah, having my sister here is such a blessing. I think sometimes I take it for granted too much because it's all I've known but since I've been here, and so I'm like, "Oh, like, this is just normal," and then I stop and I think about it, I'm like, "Wait, this is not normal at all," but having Sally just on the team and just as someone that we have such, like, a close bond, and so on the field, off the field, she's, like, my biggest supporter. It's also super fun the way our positions are. She's an outside back and I'm an outside forward, and so when we get to play together, sometimes we're like we kind of have, like, telepathic connection, so I just kinda know, like, when she has the ball, what she wants to do, she knows what I want to do, so it's super fun just having someone you're so close with and so comfortable with just to support you.
Is there a specific, like, passing play or, like, assist or just moment in a game from your years at Liberty so far that you have a favorite with your sister?
I think it was this spring we had a play where we had a little combination on the wing in one of our spring games, and then she was able to, like, dribble up and cross it in, and we scored off the cross. Our coach loves to say, like, the Garner duo
I
in
like it.
film, but yeah, super special, just all of the moments together.
So cool. I love that. And Liberty is a Christian school, which I think is so awesome to your experience because it really does just allow for more opportunities to be around like-minded people at the same time, right? There are also challenges with that. But just for you, like how has going to a school like Liberty impacted just the day-to-day in your experience on campus?
Yeah, I love Liberty. I can't say enough amazing things about the school. Being surrounded by like-minded Christians is so amazing. Like everyone you encounter, your professors, your coaches, your trainers, like everyone kind of has the same mindset, which was super crucial, I think, for my faith. Just going to college, it's really difficult already, kind of figuring out who you are and making your faith your own. And so having all that support was really nice. One thing I had to be super careful with going to a Christian school is getting complacent in your faith because since you are surrounded by that all of the time, it's easy to kind of let your faith just become the norm and a part of everyone else's faith. And so the Lord has definitely provided a lot of areas just to challenge me personally in my faith and just make sure I'm not getting too comfortable and make sure I am getting out of my comfort zone and am finding opportunities to be bold in my faith. Because when you are surrounded by it, you don't have to be as bold or you don't have to stand out as much because that is the norm. So that's definitely been an area that I've learned. It just takes intentionality.
That's so good because I also face that just hosting like a faith podcast, right? A faith and sports podcast, and Sports Spectrum is a ministry in ways. And so it's like just because the work is about God doesn't mean that you are like having a relationship with God, right?
Right.
Like and so you have to find ways to check yourself, okay, like am I getting complacent? And so I love that you said that because it's so real and it's so easy also to just think that like it's an item like on the checklist. And
Right.
then at first you hit like, wait, like, have I been talking to God? You know, like, are we good? And so I love that you said that because that's definitely real, not just for you, but I'm sure for so many other students, athletes that go to Christian schools or work in Christian spaces. And I think I love that. It's awesome. But I did see a video of your baptism that you posted last fall, just an absolutely beautiful post. Would you mind describing that moment and what led into it?
Yes, that was one of the most special moments, I think, since being at Liberty. Also just a super pivotal point in my faith. So one thing I love about our team, during preseason, we do a baptism night every year. We'll go on the field at sunset, we do worship, and then if there's anyone that feels led, our team shepherd will reach out the week before and just say, like, let's talk about it if anyone feels led to get baptized. And then what's super special is the night of the baptisms, after the people that kind of plan to go get baptized, she just opens the floor for, like, if anyone else feels called to, like, in the moment. And so God's really done some special things with that. But for me personally, I think that was such a pivotal moment in my faith because it was, I think, the first time in my life that surrendering my life to God actually meant something. I grew up in a Christian home, that had always been values that were taught by my parents, which I'm so grateful for. But I think I kind of lived the life of like, I'm putting on this front of, like, I'm super strong in my faith, but there were definitely areas that were lacking and definitely areas that I kind of hid, and, I don't think I was fully sold out for Jesus. It was, like, 1 foot in the world, 1 foot out, and I kind of faced out my freshman year, and then the summer before my sophomore year, the Lord just did so much work in my life, and, I just decided one night in my room, like, I just gave it all to God, and I was like, "I do not wanna live a life anymore that is 1 foot in, 1 foot out, like, I am completely surrendered to you." So I literally journaled, like, a whole prayer just surrendering my heart, and the next day, our team shepherd texted the group chat, she's like, "We're gonna do baptisms next week, if this is on anyone's heart, like, please reach out." And I'd actually never been baptized before, even though I grew up in the church, that's just never something I did, and I felt super convicted of, like, this is something I need to do. And so, yeah, I reached out and that moment was super, super special. And just to share it with my closest friends, my mom got to be there. So, really cool moment.
Wow. So cool that you got that text, like, very shortly after. Like, what?
That was
That's so
from the Lord.
awesome. Oh my gosh, I just absolutely love that, and, like, so cool that your team fosters an environment where that can be, I don't wanna say the norm, but, like, there is space for that and there's room, and it doesn't feel like, it's this daunting thing that is gonna come once a year, you know? Like,
Right.
in a way, it's like, yeah, there's a space for this, like, in it for it to be something that's so exciting for your program. I did see a video that it actually went pretty viral from your team last year, and you were doing worship music. I think Sally, your sister, was on the guitar. Maybe there was a
Yes.
coach there, a teammate singing. Would you mind just describing what that moment was and, if you do this all often?
Yes. So one thing I absolutely adore about our team is we make intentional time before every game, home or away, to do worship. And we'll have either a teammate or we'll bring in a coach or a speaker just to do a little message. And kind of like the vision behind that is game days are super hectic. I know you know all the pregame treatment and warm ups. And then when you get into the game, it's super hectic. And so that's kind of our time to just still our hearts, take about 30 minutes to just sit in the Lord's presence and really just like, here, Lord, we're giving this game to you. This is not about us. And so, yeah, all the moments we've had have been so powerful. But I remember when that video was filmed, that day of worship, I don't know, something was different. It was just super powerful. And we have some really talented girls on the team that can sing. My sister can play the guitar. We have a coach that sings and plays guitar. And so, yeah, just a super beautiful way to kind of detach ourselves from soccer on such like a big game day and really just give it all to the Lord.
Do you have the guitars in in your home locker room, like, all the time?
I think they stay with the girls and then like
They
at their
bring them in.
but we do our assistant coach keeps her guitar in her office, which is right next to our team room. So there's always people playing guitar on away trips. We'll bring them. They'll go in the stairwells at hotels, and just play and practice and super fun.
That is so unique, but so awesome, and what a cool just, like, not tradition, but something that your team does together and just to get your mind right before the game, right? Because there is some craziness, right? Not only is it the physical part of like taping your ankle, probably looking at your scouting report, foam rolling, but also like the mental side of like the dancing, the getting juiced up. And so I love that you are able to like take that moment and so cool that it was filmed, right? And like post on social media because not everything needs to be on social media. Like that doesn't mean anything, right, to what is actually happening, but it's a really cool tool. I like to think of social media as like a really awesome tool for your boldness and your faith to be spread and to encourage other people, just like this podcast. And so that worship is going to happen regardless. But I just think it's so cool that it did get shared because it impacted me. I would watch it 50 million times. Like, who was the singer? Who was the singer that was singing?
I believe it was Keely. She's one of the freshmen on our team. Amazing
Oh my
voice.
word! Let's like put her on like a singing show. It was unreal.
There's She's sung the national anthem for our team before, like pregame, and it is unreal. I've never heard a voice like hers. It's crazy.
Unreal, so cool. But yeah, just like absolutely amazing that it had the impact that it had. And I'm sure there are a lot of more moments like that to come for your team. But just going to Liberty and playing on this soccer team, are there any other special moments throughout your college career so far, on or off the field, that have just left a serious impact on you?
Oh, that's a great question. I think honestly, all of the moments off the field are just so special. They always tell you like you're not going to remember from your college experience all the practices and the games, and I truly believe that because we have such a special and close knit team. That off the field we just have so much fun together. That's really the word I can think about is we just have fun. We have people over at our house all the time, teammates over. I live with three other soccer girls. We will host like taco nights, we'll host movie nights. We love to just have a full house of girls. Our team will also do worship nights with the men's soccer team. So those are always super special. So I think just all the little moments, not really anything like crazy big, but it's just the small little intimate moments. The dinners and the movie nights and the hangouts are just so special. I cherish those so much.
That is so fun. So if you had to draw up like your perfect post-practice hangout with your team, which one are you doing? Like a taco night, a movie night? How would you draw it up for an ideal Liberty soccer? If I was coming on a recruiting trip and you had to get me to come to Liberty and you were hosting me, what would be the event you're taking me to do with your team?
Okay. So near our house is a taco truck the best tacos you've ever eaten in your life, so we're definitely stopping on the way home, getting
Okay.
some of those to go, bring those back to the house, eat dinner. We love to play Quiplash. I don't know if you've heard of
I've heard of
Quiplash.
it, but I can you remind me what it is?
So you connect like a TV and everyone connects with their phone and it sends like prompts and you send in your answers and then people vote on them. It's hilarious. So definitely play like some Quiplash. We love to play card games. We'll go in our backyard and like throw the football, play spike ball. And then definitely go get ice cream. We always get ice cream. We eat so much ice cream, even though we're athletes.
What's the ice cream place near Liberty that everyone likes?
Oh, there's a lot. There's one about 30 seconds down the road from our house, very dangerous.
Dangerous, dangerous.
Mr. Betty's, it's a tiny little trailer truck thing, you don't even go inside, you just go up to the window, but they probably have 100 things on the menu, and it is amazing.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna take a fake recruiting trip to Liberty now,
Yes.
and
Yes.
Margaret's going to host me. I love that, and I love hearing a little bit more about what this team is like off the field. But on the field, take me back to last year. Is there a favorite moment that you have with your team from last season?
I would say winning the conference tournament was amazing. Our team last season faced a lot of adversity. We had 2 girls tear their ACL in preseason. We had another girl with a really bad labrum tear in her shoulder. It kind of felt like all year it was just injury after injury after injury, and so a lot of our like pivotal players were out for the season. We had lower numbers, and I think just the adversity of like going through the season and just feeling like a little bit attacked all season, but just like sticking together and then going on to win the conference tournament was so special. After the game, just getting to hold the trophy up and just celebrate with all my teammates was so special.
That is so awesome, and those moments when you get to win, like, when you do have the opportunity to win and you get to think about how hard it actually was to get there are, like, the most incredible moments because you can really reflect on just like, take that breath of, like, "I can't believe this just happened." I was reflecting on that recently with some of the college lacrosse championships that were going on at the end of the spring and just, like, really feeling for those athletes who did get to live their goal and win their conference championship or win the league championship, and it's like, man, that is just the best feeling ever, but it's also so hard to get there, that's why it feels so good. So, when your team is going through that adversity and you're probably constantly having to pick your teammates up emotionally, which is also energy that you're giving them, and then you gotta fill yourself up, like, there's so much to it. What was the hard and how did you handle the hard throughout that season, going back to preseason when you said some of this adversity had began?
Yeah, I think it was honestly taking it day by day. I love to kind of think of life from a biblical perspective of like stringing your days together because I think it's really easy when you're in preseason and you're already having injuries to look ahead at a long season and just feel super overwhelmed and like, how are we going to get through this? When your body's already kind of tired, you're mentally like down a little bit. So I think, yeah, just having the perspective of like each day is a new day, renewing your heart, renewing your mind, and the Lord really will renew your strength every day. And He provides you all that you need for that day. You don't have to look to the past. You don't have to look at tomorrow, next week, this game coming up. Like, Lord, give me the strength for today, and then I'll worry about tomorrow. And so I think, yeah, renewing our heart. And then honestly, I think just really sticking together as a team and just loving on each other in the hard days. And if someone was just struggling in a practice, like you said, picking them up and encouraging them. And so those were just crucial things to just kind of keep our team grounded and able to be successful.
You have some great advice. I'm definitely going to be using that as a new perspective shift of just like stringing the days. And sometimes you need like a visual thing to think about as well because it is so hard. And your seasons are so long. It's crazy, especially like right now we're talking in before you're even putting on a Liberty preseason, penny, you're going to another program and playing soccer.
Yeah.
So it's everlasting. And so that is so important and so hard. But when you have the right perspective through it, it's the only choice you have, Like, I think some people ask you, "Oh, how did you get through that, tough adversity?" It's like, "Well, I had no choice." Like,
Right.
it was either, like, fold or get through it, and so I love that you just shared that because it's gonna help me today in my life, just stringing days together. I love that advice, but just talking about preseason and the heart of it, All right, I guess I went on my Liberty recruiting trip, but if I was going to preseason and I had to do either a lift session, I had to do a run, I had to do a hard drill that you do to get ready for the season, what's like the hardest part of the Liberty soccer preseason?
I think the hardest part is when we get into the two-a-day practices, so you pretty much wake
I'll come
up.
to the one a day. I'll come to the one a days then.
Yeah, yeah, definitely choose the one-a-days. The two-a-days, I think just more than anything mentally, because you wake up, you practice, you lift, you do all the things, you go home, and then you're like, "Alright, time to suit up again and go out for practice number 2." So, definitely that, and then I think any college athlete knows the fitness test is just, like, the big dreaded day.
Yep.
It's really not as bad when you get it over with, but I think we just build it up in our minds of like, "Oh my gosh." So we do the beep test, normally towards the beginning of preseason, and so once you get through the beep test, you can kinda just, like, breathe a little bit.
It is so much of that getting built up in your mind. Like, seriously, the amount of times that I remember sitting in, like, my dorm, like, little living room, just talking with my teammates about how much we're overthinking it. It's just like, "Okay, are we overthinking this? Like, how much are we overthinking this? We're fine. You're fine. I'm good." Like, crazy.
It really gets to you. You have to
It
not
gets
let
you.
it.
But you do all the prep. As long as you do the work and the preparation, then you're going to feel confident going into battle. And that's exactly what you're doing by investing in your community, worshiping before the game, reading the scripture. And so that's going to prepare you for the battle of life. But Margaret, like seriously, this was so fun for me to get to know you a little bit better. I'm so excited to hear about the program in Orlando that you're going to and just to see what comes out of that because what an awesome just like step in faith that you're doing and definitely encouraged me to do something that might feel different in taking that nudge. So I appreciate you sharing all of that and so excited to cheer on your Liberty team this upcoming season and know a little bit more about your team. But before I let you go, we know you do a little worship in the locker room, so you can't have headphones on for that. But are you headphones or no headphones before you play?
Definitely no headphones. I like to be, like, in the moment in the locker room. We have a big ol' speaker, we're always blasting it. I'm also a super social person, so I'm just making my laps around the locker room talking to everyone, so definitely no headphones with the team getting ready.
I love it. Well, we are excited to cheer you on this season in soccer, but in all things in your life. And thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Such a fun time.